Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks very much for tuning in to Auto Today, India's best auto show right here on India Today, India's best TV station. Let's take a look at what action we've been able to pack in this week's episode. On the show, the first crossover sedan, the Volvo S60. Next, Triumph's retro modern bike, the Triumph Thruxton R, and the bigger Bonnie T120. Then we move on to check out the coolest cars at the 2016 New York International Auto Show. So let's roll it. Now at the beginning of this broadcast, we are going to talk about retro bikes. Well, no, just kidding. Not retro bikes, but a segment called Neo-Retro. And it seems that this British company, Triumph, has championed this cause. That's why in their Bonnie as well as this 250 kg worth Thruxton, they've been able to carve out a niche as far as neo-retro segment of bikes is concerned. Let's take a look at the Triumph Thruxton. Bit of a tongue twister there. Triumph Thruxton. Triumph Thruxton. Triumph. Do take a look at the Triumph Thruxton.
Triumph Motorcycles is psyched about their new range of Bonneville motorcycles, and so are we. And that was reason enough to head to scenic Portugal to sample the new range. The new Bonneville motorcycles only better their retro image, but shed their old school tech for new age gizmos. The Street Twin is the newest entrant to the range, but we're checking out the bigger Bonneville T120 and the all-new Thruxton R.
Lisbon. Now this place has a lot of history, and a lot of history to do with India. For example, back in the days, it was from here that Vasco set sail to India. But today we are here for a completely different reason. We are here for something else which is coming to India, the Triumph Thruxton R.
This is the Thruxton R, an idea that combines timeless beauty and hides within it a beast of a performer. Form and function come together as a classic example of neo-retro. Up front, there's a small fender which sits snug atop the specially made Pirelli tyres. The gorgeously done Showa big piston forks in this shade of gold looks $1 million and work brilliantly too. Look closely and you'll spot the simple round headlamp, but there are modern touches hidden away. LED daytime running lamps make it into the 2016 model. Modernity comes from other bits too, like the new instrument cluster. The twin pod setup comes with an analog speedo and a tacho bearing period correct fonts with 2 digital LCD screens for digital readouts. Right behind the meter console sits the gorgeously sculpted fuel tank with a classic Monza filler cap and a stainless steel tank strap. The well-crafted seat features intricate stitching, and it's a proper cafe-style bump stop seat with a beautiful seat cowl that's easily removable when you're riding 2 up. The retro looks hide a fair bit of new age tech under its retro exterior. The Cafe Racer now comes with ride-by-wire technology, and as surprising as it may be, riding modes now feature on the Thruxton. The 1200cc engine has gone up by over 300cc, but retains its meticulously crafted vintage looks. Get astride and you're bound to notice a racy stance. One does have to crouch down, but it is not as committed as most other superbikes. The same goes for the foot pegs, which are rear set but not set to uncomfortable levels. Switch to sport mode, rev it hard, and you're greeted with a raughty exhaust note. This motor is torquey and there are enough power reserves to propel you into high 3-digit speeds. But what impresses further is the fact that it is brilliant around corners. Pirelli tyres complement the chassis, offering plenty of grip. The Brembo brakes offer superb stopping power to haul down the bike from high speeds. There's also the safety net of traction control, which does a good job of allowing the rider to have fun, but catching them if things go wrong. The other bike we have here is the Bonneville T120 Black. This is a bike which has retained the original charm of the original Bonnie. Steve McQueen's preferred ride and named after the iconic Bonneville salt flats in the US. So this new generation Bonnie had big expectations to live up to. The T120 retains its classic looks, but everything else around has changed. The classic looking engine deftly hides a fuel injection system that has been made to look like a carburetor. Like the Thruxton, this engine gets a bump in power and the extra 300cc over its predecessor, the T100. But the best bit about the T120 is how it rides. The engine is smooth as silk and the riding position just right. Quite simply, one can take on long rides without a shadow of a doubt. The suspension is tuned to absorb bumps well, and while it is not meant to be a corner carver, it does give you enough confidence leaning into one. It's disappointing that the black edition that we're riding here isn't coming to India. Triumph will bring the T120, which boasts of more chrome, but the same power output. A potent mix of power, modern technology, and old-world charm. That's the new range of Bonneville motorcycles for you.
Time to play a little bit of Dora the Explorer here. Any guesses what car is this? No? You want a wider look? Let's switch to the other camera. Any guesses now? Yes, you have read that this is a Volvo, but which one? The S60. Okay, so the S60 is a Volvo sedan. But what they've done with this model is that this could, ladies and gentlemen, be the first crossover sedan. And what has Volvo actually done? They've raised the ground clearance of this car. And the ground clearance is so high that it beats even many a Mercs and Audis in this regard. We took a spin of this car to see how this baby runs on the road.
The Volvo S60 is undoubtedly a gorgeous looking car. Volvo's minimalistic design language emits an aura of luxury and panache, all encased in a beautiful fluid shape that's hard to look away from. But when the great outdoors call, a more fitting car for the job is required.
When you hear the term crossover, what comes to your mind? Let me guess. SUV-like shape, compact dimensions, high ground clearance? Well, what do you think of this? The world's first crossover sedan. At least that's what Volvo is claiming.
Volvo comes up with an ingenious solution. They retained the luxurious interiors of the S60 but raised it to offer 201 mm of ground clearance and added scuff plates to battle the rough. The S60 Cross Country is a car based on Volvo's internationally sold V60, which is essentially a station wagon, a body type which hasn't been popular in India. Retaining the sedan's shape, the S60 Cross Country manages to keep the S60's appeal while looking prepared for those unsuspected off-road excursions. Long bonnet, sleek headlamps and strong C-pillars at the rear. End with a stubby boot. The added height makes the exterior look quirky, but the car retains the quality cabin that we'd find in the regular S60 too. Well-bolstered, sporty seats keep you snug in place. There's a slot for the key and a start button to get things going. The dashboard is focused towards the driver, who can access the automatic climate control system, a number pad for dialing, and a rotary controller to feed in navigation commands. The display uses a small screen integrated on top of the dashboard. The S60 Cross Country also offers cruise control and audio controls on the steering. The driver can select changeable themes on the meter console through the left indicator stalk and switch between performance, elegance and eco, all of which alter the power delivery from soft and comfortable to spirited performance. Although the classy interior is starting to show its age now and don't present anything new other than what we're used to. The raised height of a car will almost always affect dynamics, but the S60 Cross Country manages to impress on that front too.
But in a car like this, what you're really looking for is ground clearance. Now this is a cross country, or a crossover for that matter, and measures out at about 201 mm. Now that's way more, well, slightly more than the BMW X1, the Mercedes-Benz GLA and even the Audi Q3.
Taut suspension, almost negligible body roll and grip from the torque vectoring AWD system give you the confidence to confidently flick the car into corners. The chassis feels stiff and suspension sporty for an all-roader. Yet the car goes over nasty potholes with barely a quiver inside the cabin. Volvo has even retained the 18-inch wheels and low-profile tires from the international model. So it's even more astonishing how Volvo has managed the splendid ride quality from standard suspension. The 5-cylinder diesel engine shows its age with an unrefined clatter, but still packs a punch despite losing some amount of power and torque from the sedan. But that is not made apparent thanks to the all-wheel drive system, which spreads the power better through all 4 wheels. The 6-speed automatic transmission shifts smoothly in traffic conditions and quick when overtaking maneuvers are to be executed. In a market full of pseudo all-road compacts, the S60cc with AWD offers true go-anywhere ability. With this sedan on stilts, Volvo surely thinks that conventionalism is passé now.
It's time for a short break here on Auto Today, but when we come back, we'll get you all the latest motoring action, the new cars displayed at the International Auto Show in New York.
This week we head out to New York to bring you the very best from the New York International Auto Show. The annual show, held in Manhattan, is known for its strong lineup of production and concept cars, and this year promises some truly amazing launches. And now, here is the 2016 New York International Auto Show.
We are here at the New York International Auto Show, and the big news from New York is the 2017 Nissan GTR. Nissan has unveiled this car, which it will launch in India later on in the year.
We featured the elusive GTR on the show a couple of weeks back, and Nissan, in the meanwhile, came out with news of a new and updated version of the supercar. The 2017 GTR gets even more powerful with an added 15 bhp, bumping power to 565 bhp and 633 Nm. This added power comes from individual ignition timing control for the cylinders and extra boost from the turbochargers. The exterior has received noticeable upgrades like a larger front grille to improve engine cooling, new hood and freshly designed front spoiler lip to generate more downforce. New aerowork features side sills that have been pushed out to improve airflow. At the rear of the car, the GTR's hallmark 4-ring tail lights remain. Aerodynamics have been improved to create better stability and minimize drag. The new GTR's cabin now has the dashboard and instrument panel draped in high-quality leather. The 2017 version also debuts this new color called Blaze Metallic with complementing interior leather on the premium edition. The Mazda MX5 was introduced in 1989 and established that simple engineering and timeless design doesn't need to change. Over the years, subtle updates have made the car modern, but it's still unmistakably the cute little Miata. The all-new MX5 still uses the classic front-engined rear-wheel drive layout combined with the joy of a manual gearbox. In the process, the car even lost more than 100 kgs, which is a feat of engineering in itself. The new MX5 is so good that it managed to wow judges to claim the 2016 World Car of the Year award. If you thought hybrids are only limited to boring and odd-looking cars, then think again. Take a look at the Regera. From the Swedish supercar manufacturer Koenigsegg comes a hypercar that combines the power of a V8 engine to an electric motor, and both combined belch out a mammoth 1500 bhp and earth-shattering 2000 Nm of torque. But unfair as the world is, production run is limited to 80 units. The Jaguar F-Type harks to the classic British roadsters, which had one purpose only, of setting the country roads on fire. The F-Type SVR is a lightweight, aerodynamic roadster which makes use of innovative new materials. Power comes from a supercharged V8 which produces 575 bhp, taking the F-Type SVR from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.5 seconds and onwards to a top speed of 320 km per hour. It also comes loaded with a titanium exhaust and forged alloy wheels, which reduce weight over the standard F-Type. Shifting from all-American muscle to all-electric hatchback, Chevrolet introduced the Bolt EV. The main rival in its sight is the Tesla Model 3 and has even priced the car at an affordable rate compared to standard electric machines. The Bolt gets a driving range of roughly 320 kilometers. The direct drive electric motor can deliver 200 bhp and 360 Nm of torque, which will be available right from the time you step on the accelerator. The Porsche 718 was an open-top race machine which was built by Porsche to demolish the track. During the iconic Le Mans races, and even won its fair share of hill climbs. The Porsche 718 is an evolution of the Boxster and Cayman models and is powered by a turbocharged flat-4 engine. With the help of Porsche's double-clutch PDK transmission, it does the 0 to 100 km per hour run in a quick 4.5 seconds. Hyundai showcased an all-electric car named Ionic. The car becomes the first in the world to get full electric, hybrid and plug-in hybrid variants. It features various aerodynamic bits, resulting in a low drag coefficient body. The 2016 World Performance Car of the Year has lost its roof. Yes, Audi has introduced the R8 V10 Spider to the visitors at the New York Auto Show in its world debut. Audi claims that the car is capable of reaching 100 km per hour in 3.6 seconds. The roof can be operated at speeds of up to 50 km per hour and opens or closes in just 20 seconds. Mercedes-Benz brought along the stunning GLC Cooper to the motor show. Based on the versatile C-Class platform, the SUV will be tuned for sporty handling and aims to symbolize the diversity of the brand. There will be two variants available from the start, the GLC 300 and the GLC 43 AMG. Both get the 9-speed transmission. Hyundai's luxury arm Genesis presented the striking New York concept at the auto show. Hinting at future design direction, Genesis describes the exterior look as athletic elegance. This ravishing concept belts out 245 bhp and 353 Nm of power from a 2-liter direct injection petrol engine and is mated to an 8-speed transmission.
That's a wrap in this week's edition of Auto Today. Please do write in to us, share with us your feedback about the show, what you want to see and what you don't want to see, so that we can at least aim and incorporate those views in our next week's episode. Till then, this is Sanket Upadhyay, turning off the ignition for now.